Hi students, today we are going to start our session. So in this session we are going to discuss about Agile methodology and unified process, which is our third session. So let us start the session. So before going to start the session, let us see agenda of this session or objectives or outcomes of this session. So in this session we are going to discuss about prerequisite of Scrum model, next history of Scrum and unified process, next Scrum principles, next Scrum sprint structure, next unified process, next finally we are going to see the conclusion. So after completion of this session, you will be able to learn what is the Scrum model and history of Scrum and history of unified process, and you are going to learn principles of Scrum and what is the structure, sprint structure of Scrum, and finally we are going to discuss about the unified process, and later on we are going to conclude this session. So these are the outcomes of this session. So let us start a prerequisite of Scrum. So the prerequisite of this Scrum methodology is we have to learn Agile process methodology. So in the Agile process, what we discussed is how to develop a software by following the Agile methodology. So in that Agile methodology, we have discussed characteristics of Agile methodology, what are the practices present. So manifesto of Agile contains 4 values and 12 principles. So these are the things which we discussed in the Agile. So that is the prerequisite of Scrum methodology. So what is Agile? Characteristics of Agile, Agile practices, Agile values and principles. So these are the prerequisite of Scrum. So here what we discussed is, in the previous session we have discussed Agile. So Agile means make it simple or keep it simple. So by following those things we are going to develop the software, and we have seen number of characteristics of Agile and Agile practices, and finally we have seen 4 values and 12 principles of Agile. So these are the prerequisite of Scrum methodology. So next, history of Scrum. So Scrum is an Agile software development, which was developed by Jeff Sutherland and his team, which was developed in early 1990s. In the year early 1990s, it was developed by the Jeff Sutherland. It was developed in the year or in the earlies of 1990s. So this name Scrum is derived from the game called rugby. So by using the rugby game, this activity is going to take. So here what rugby game is actually, a team of members, teamwork should be there. So teamwork are going to do. So by that only they are going to win the match. In the same manner what we are going to do, the software people, they are going to be as a team. So by being as a team, we are going to develop the software, then only we are going to get the quality software. So that is what we are going to do in the Scrum methodology. We should be in a team. Okay. So Scrum is nothing but we will be having meeting with a good attitude. So that is called as Scrum. Okay. So Scrum is an Agile software development which was developed by Jeff Sutherland, and it was developed in the early 1990s. And later on Schwaber and Biddle, these 2 persons have given some more features to the Scrum. So all those things we are going to see here. Let's see the Scrum principles. So the following framework activities contains. So in the Scrum principle, we are going to contain requirements, analysis, design, evaluation and delivery. So in other words, we can say requirements, analysis, design, testing and deployment. We can say like that. And next one is work task occur within a process pattern called sprint. So whatever the work we done in a certain period of time, that period of time or that software is called as sprint. The work conducted within a sprint. So the number of sprints required for each framework activity will vary depending on the product complexity and size. So these sprints will be vary, which are going to depends on the product and which are going to depends on the size and complexity of the product. So the Scrum principle, in the Scrum principle it contains requirements, analysis, design, evaluation and deployment or delivery of the software. So here whatever the work we are going to do, so that work is going to be displayed or that work will be considered as one sprint. Sprint in other words we can say sprint means simple whatever the project we have, we are going to divide the project into different sprints. So each team is going to work under different sprints. So whenever we get one output, we are going to call it as a one sprint. So that is what sprint. So the work conducted in the sprint, and number of sprints required for developing a framework will be depend on the complexity and size of the product. So these are the principles. So next we are going to see the Scrum workflow. So here if you see the Scrum workflow, so first one is product backlogs. Product backlog. So here product backlog is going to give by the client or customer. So client is going to give the product backlogs. So that product backlogs in the sense nothing but we are going to gather the requirements from the client. So these backlogs are going to be as a sprints. We are going to divide into different sprints. That means we are going to take these as one sprint and these as one sprint. So like that we are going to take here. Okay. So after dividing the sprints, what we are going to do? We are going to decide the time. We are going to decide the time period for completion of that particular sprint. Maybe generally it will take 2 to 4 weeks. And we have to remember here, every day there will be a Scrum meeting. At least of 15 minutes, there will be a Scrum meeting. In that Scrum meeting, we are going to discuss like what is the sprint we have got, what are the complexities we have got, what is the next sprint we are going to develop. So these things we are going to discuss in the meeting. So that is what daily Scrum meeting. And finally we are going to get the output, that is potential shippable product increment. So we are going to get this different sprints. Like that we are going to work in the Scrum methodology. So here project is divided into little parts in the sense little sprints. Develop each part into 2 to 3 weeks. And next duration for those is 2 through 4 weeks, and it will have a meeting for every day. Every day we will be having Scrum meeting, and we are going to use visual aids to motivate the development process. That means we are going to use visual aids. Visual aids means we may display project like flow charts or pie graphs. What is the development, what is the status of the project. So that is what we are going to display for motivating the team. For motivating the team, we are going to display flow charts, or in the form of flow charts, what is the status of that project. So there will be different teams will be there. So we are going to display what team A is going to be done, team B what is the status, team C what is the status. Like that we are going to display in the flow charts. So by seeing that flow chart, everyone is going to get motivated. So that is the main agenda of visual aids. So what we are going to do, we will see in the next slides. And Scrum focus on developing the product in a series of fixed length iterations called sprints. So which we already discussed. We are going to divide the different sprints. So we are going to divide into different sprints like A, B and C. Like that we are going to divide the sprints, and each sprint will be of 2 to 3 weeks for developing the software. Usually we are going to take 2 to 3 weeks, and this team a framework for shipping the software at regular miles. So we are going to fix the time. So beyond the time or on that time we are going to deliver the software. And finally milestone. So milestone is nothing but end of sprint which we are going to deliver to the customer. That is the milestone, that we are going to consider it as a milestone. So again we will review once again. So here what we are going to do. So if you see here product backlog. So this product backlog is nothing but requirements of the client. So that is what product backlogs. So these are the requirements. Think this is A requirement, this is B requirement, this is C requirement. What we are going to do here, we are going to divide these backlogs into sprints like this, 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to work on each sprint, and usually we are going to take time of 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks we are going to take, depends upon the requirements, depend upon the priorities of the client. And for every day we will be having a meeting called as Scrum meeting. So we will be having Scrum meeting. In that Scrum meeting we are going to discuss what is the sprint, what kind of sprint we are going to do, what is the complexity in that one, what is the next Scrum sprint. So these things we are going to discuss in the Scrum meeting. And finally what we are going to do, we are going to deliver the sprint, we are going to deliver the product or increment. So that is potential shippable product increment we are going to deliver to the customer by the sprint by sprint. So that is the workflow of Scrum. So next we are going to see Scrum sprint structure. So how it is so it will contain four major roles or four major parts in the Scrum structure. First one is sprint planning, next one is daily stand-up, next sprint demo, last one is sprint retrospective. So these are the four things which we are going to follow in the structure. So sprint planning is nothing but we are going to plan a meeting that determines what to complete in the coming sprint. As we already discussed, there will be a meeting in every day. So in the sprint planning, we are going to plan what is the next sprint, what we are going to develop in the next sprint. So that is we are going to see in the sprint planning. Next one is daily stand-up. So daily stand-up means there will be a daily Scrum meeting, so which we are going to consider it as a mini meeting. So that is what daily stand-up. Next one, sprint demo. Sprint demo is nothing but a sharing meeting where the team shows that they have shipped in that sprint. So we are going to share all the things in our team. So we are going to show what is the status of that sprint. So that is what sprint demo. And next one is sprint retrospective, a review of what did and did not go well with actions to make the next sprint better. So here what we are going to do is we are going to discuss the sprint status and we are going to check whether whatever the drawbacks which we done in the previous sprint and how to do the better sprint in the next coming sprints. So those things we are going to see. So that is what four ceremonies of Scrum structure. So first one is sprint planning. So it will be a team planning and it is going to do or it is going to tell us so what will be the next sprint we are going to discuss in the sprint planning. And next one is daily stand-up. So there will be a daily stand-up meeting. So that is daily meeting of 15 minutes. Mini meeting will be there. So that is called as daily stand-up. And the sprint demo. So in the sprint demo, we are going to share to the team members what is the status, which will be a visualized aid, which we discussed in the previous slide. And we will see what exactly those things. And next one is sprint retrospectives. So it will contain what we done till now and what we have to do. So in the previous sprint, what are the major drawbacks we have done and how to overcome those drawbacks and how to do better sprint in the next one. So those things we are going to see in the sprint retrospective. So these are the structure of Scrum. So during a sprint, as I already discussed you, so we will be having visual artifacts like task boards. So we are going to display task boards and at the same time burn down charts. We are going to display pie charts and flow charts in that format. We are going to display the status of work, what we have done. So different teams will be there. So different team status will be there. So that is going to display to motivate the team members. So visible to the team and spectators, so are powerful motivators. So to motivate the team members, we are going to display our work status in the task boards and burn down charts. We will see what are those things. So this is the task board. So in the task board, there will be stories, user stories will be there. So there are user stories, okay, and these stories are divided into story 1, story 2, story 3. So like this we are going to divide and we are going to make different tasks like task A, task B, task C, task D. Here what we are showing which task is started, which task is not started. So here task A, B, D are not started, task C has been started, which is in progress. So like that we are going to display to motivate the team to display the task what we are going to done. And next we are going to, last one is we are going to show the done. So what finally done these things. So these are the things which we are going to display in the task boards. Next in the same manner we are going to display in the burn down charts. So in the burn down charts we will be having what is the total effort in the points and what are the total iterations we have done. So these things will be displayed in the points. So team velocity will be there. So team velocity is going to calculate what kind of work we have done, what kind of work we have to do in the next sprint. So these things we are going to be display and what work done in that particular iteration and what is the work remaining. So how much work we have done so far. So these things we are going to display in the burn down charts to motivate the team members. A Scrum team has a slightly different composition than a traditional waterfall with 3 specific roles. So here 3 specific roles are there which plays a major important roles. So first one is product owner, next Scrum manager, next one is development team. So these 3 are the major important roles in the Scrum structure. So we'll see one by one what they are going to do. So product owner. So the product owner, he is going to create a prioritize, or he is going to prioritize which task we have to do first. Next one. So closely partners with the business and team to ensure everyone understand the work items in the product backlog. That means, so we are going to associate with the business people or client, so they should understand what we are going to do. And next one, give the team clear guidance which features to deliver next. So in the team we are going to give clear guidance, clear guidelines to the team members what we are going to do in the next sprint. So that is what. So decides when to ship the product with the preference towards more than frequent delivery. So a client will give the requirements and we are going to divide those requirements into number of sprints. In that sprints, the client is going to give a prioritize. He is going to prioritize which sprint he needs. So that sprint we are going to develop first. So that is the task of product owner. So the product owner, what he is going to do? He is going to prioritize first. Prioritize which list he is going to do. So depends on the product backlog. Product backlog means depends on the requirements of the client. And next one, we are going to involve the partners. Partners in the sense, maybe stakeholders, maybe client. We are going to involve and we are going to show them so what work is going to be done. We are going to make them to understand so how much work is going to be done or how much work done and how much work is going to be done. So these things we are going to do here. And then we are going to give clear guidelines to the team. So clear guidelines to the team. So what we are going to deliver in the next sprint. And next one, we are going to decide when to deliver the sprint. So which sprint we have to develop first. So based on the client requirements only, we are going to choose the sprint which we are going to develop. So that is what product owner is going to do. So this product owner is also a single individual. So who brings single unified view of the project. And next, his role is not same as the project manager. Project manager is completely different with project owner or product owner. So the project owner ensures that the development team delivers the most value to the business. So the moral ethics is going to be taken care by the project owner. That means here what project owner is going to do, he is going to prioritize the client. Based on his requirements, we are going to develop the sprints. Okay. And next one, he is going to give guidelines to the team how to develop the software and what will be the next software. Those things we are going to discuss. And next, he is not the actually project manager. So project manager is different. And finally, he is going to ensure the development team so to deliver the valuable software to the business. So this is the project owner task. Next one is Scrum Master. So he is the champion for the Scrum technology. So he is going to coach the team. He is going to train the team and the product owner. So an effective Scrum Master deeply understands the work being done by the team and can help the team optimize their delivery flow. So here, the Scrum Master is the champion. He is the champion for the Scrum and he is going to train or he is going to coach the entire team and the product owner. So that's why we are calling him as a champion. And an effective Scrum Master, what he is going to do, he is going to understand. So he is going to understand deeply, so what work is going to be done and he is going to explain to the team and it is going to help for the team to optimize the delivery flow. Next, they schedule the needed resources for sprint planning, stand-up, sprint review and sprint retrospectives, so which we already discussed. So last one is Scrum team. So the Scrum team controls its own destiny and self-organizing around the around their work. Agile teams use pull models where the team pulls a certain amount of work off the backlog and commits to completing in that sprint, which is very effective in maintaining quality and ensuring optimum performance of the team over the long term. So here Scrum team means the Scrum team is going to control its own destiny and self-organizing. That means they will have their own discipline towards the work. And Agile team, what they are going to do, they are going to pull models and they are going to work on the requirements of the client, and there will be commit. So they will be commitment towards the sprint development, and they will ensure that they are going to maintain a quality. So they are going to maintain the quality here, ensuring. So this is the task of Scrum team. So see the Scrum picture. So in the picture we can see everything here. So in this picture what we are doing here, first you can see product backlog. So product backlogs are nothing but requirements of the client. So we are going to take the requirements of the client. So these are the requirements 1, 2 and 3 for example. So here what we are going to do, we are going to make a prioritized list. So which task is going to complete first, which product backlog is going to first, that we are going to make a list, and then we are making it as a sprint. So current sprint we are going to do, and then team is going to define or estimates the task. So how many days we need to complete this task, maximum 2 to 4 weeks or 30 days. And here in overall 30 days, every day, every 24 hours, there will be a meeting of 15 minutes. So in that meeting, what we are going to discuss is, so what we have done in the last 24 hours, what are the problems we have faced, and what we are going to do in the next day or next 24 hours. So that we are going to discuss. And next one is, this sprint will be 30 days of iteration, that is 2 to 4 weeks, and we are going to deliver some working code and also produce documents and models. And finally, we are going to give the final sprint to the customer, and we are going to take the feedback from the customer. So this is the entire Scrum picture where we can see the entire thing, what we are actually doing in the Scrum. So we'll see some interesting facts. So the Scrum team needs to create their own definition of done. So done in the sense, what we are going to discuss here, done. What programmer will think is, so he will think that if something is done means the code is written. And tester, what he will think is, if something is done means that the test is passed. And what business person or client is going to think is, done means, so we can now make a business by selling to the customers and it is ready for use. So this is the different definitions of done in view of Scrum methodology. So that is about Scrum methodology. Now we are going to start unified process, which is the last topic. So what is unified process? So like Agile process, unified process is one of the implementations of Agile. It is also one of the implementations of Agile model. So here unified process is an architecture centric and it contains use cases and it is a increment development process. So it is also having the increment development process by using UML. So it is going to use the UML, that is Unified Modeling Language, and is combined with the system process engineering meta model. So here this unified process means it is a architecture centric. Unified process means it is a architecture centric and it is going to use use cases, and it is also following iterative model and incremental development process. So, and for doing all these things, this unified process is going to use Unified Modeling Language, that is UML. So, what is the process in the unified thing? So, the leading object-oriented methodology for development of large-scale software. So, here in unified process, we are going to use object-oriented process. So, there will be a map and when and how to use these various techniques. So, these things we are going to discuss, when and how to use these UML techniques. So, these things we are going to discuss, and it is going to develop high risk elements in the early iterations. So in this unified process, we are going to develop iterations. So first we are going to develop high risk elements. Whatever the high risk elements are there, so those things we are going to develop, and we are going to deliver a valuable software to the customer. So these are the process of unified. So here simple, what we are going to use is, first one is we are going to use object oriented method for developing the software, and also we are going to use UML techniques, and we are going to map when and how to use these UML techniques, and we are going to take the high risk elements for the early iterations, and next we are going to deliver a valuable software to the customer. So which we discussed earlier. So unified process is an adaptive methodology. So adaptive methodology means this process should be adaptive in such a way that it should accept the requirements change. Whenever we want, it should accept the requirements change. So that is why we are calling it as a adaptive methodology. And here we are going to use Unified Modeling Language UML. And here we are also using, and we are going to use object oriented programming for developing the iterative and incremental in this unified process. So here we have different types of phases in unified process. So first one is inception, next one is elaboration. So in inception, it establishes business case for the system, defines risk, obtains 10% of requirements, estimates next phase effort. So here in this inception, what we are going to do is, we are going to take two things here. One is communication, another one is planning. Communication in the sense, we are going to take requirements from the client, we are going to communicate with the client, and then we are going to plan. What will be the next effort we are going to plan based on the requirements. So that is what inception. Inception, in general meaning of inception is starting. So that is the inception. Next one is elaboration. So in the elaboration, we are going to understand for the development of problem, what are the domains, system architecture, risk significant portions, and 80% major requirements will be identified. So this is the elaboration here. So in these elaborations, we are going to combine planning and modeling. So planning and modeling, what we are going to do here, we are going to identify what are the softwares we need for developing the software and how the coding is going to be done. So that is what we are going to do, coding. And unit testing will be done every day. So that is elaboration. So next one is construction and transition. So in the construction, we are going to design the system design. We are going to design the system, programming and testing, building the remaining system in short iterations. And transition means we are going to test, that is going to start with beta testing, and we are going to deploy the system in its environment, operating environment, and finally we are going to release and we are going to take the feedback from the client. So here first one is construction. So construction. So this construction is a combination of deployment and construction. So in the construction, we are going to do, what exactly we are going to do is, we are going to design, programming and testing. These three things we are going to do in the construction. And transition in the sense, we are going to do two things here. One is testing, another one is deployment. So testing is going to start with beta testing. So there will be basically two types at this position. One is alpha testing, another one is beta testing. Alpha testing means we are going to test a software in front of the client but in company's environment. That is alpha testing. And next one is beta testing. We are going to test the application in the client's environment. So that is called as beta testing. So then we are going to deploy the software. Deploy the software is nothing but we are going to deliver the software to the client, and then finally we are going to take the feedback from the client. So that is what construction and transition. So here if you see the workflow here, most of the requirements workflow is done in the inception phase only. So because as the inception phase is the starting phase, so most of the work we are going to do here. So this process will be requirements analysis, design, coding or implementation and testing. So in this manner only we are going to do the unified process. So most of the work here we are going to do in the inception phase, and also we are going to do most of the work in construction phase. So inception, and construction are the major important workflows in the unified process. So, I hope you understood what is Scrum methodology and unified process. So finally we are going to conclude this session. So far we have seen history of Scrum, how it was invented actually by inspiring from rugby game, and we have seen Scrum principles and Scrum structure, and finally we have seen unified process. So these are the things we have seen in this session. I hope you understood all these concepts. So in the next session we are going to see requirements engineering. So in the next session we are going to start requirements engineering. I hope you understood this session. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.